The JoLynn Braley Show, Episode 29, Get Real, Episode number 7. What is binge eating really about? Hello and welcome. This is JoLynn Braley, the FAT Release Coach, weight loss mindset expert and founder of the Inner Self Diet. And this is the JoLynn Braley Show. Join me on today's show as I go beyond the food to what the real issue is. What is the real issue? Your mindset. Yes. Your mindset is 90% of the solution if you crave permanent success with your weight. What does permanent success with your weight mean? It means that you actually could take all of your negative behaviors, anything and everything that you're doing to yourself right now that is keeping yourself overweight. Things like binge eating, emotional eating, sugar addictions, night eating, stuffing yourself, negative self-talk, food obsessions, beating yourself up mentally and emotionally, perfectionism, anything and everything that you could possibly be doing to yourself that drives you to use food, overeat, stuff yourself, and add excess fat to your body. Imagine if you could take all of those negative behaviors, dump them in a basket, and toss the basket out the window. That is the result that you get when you stop chasing another food diet and actually address the real problem, which is your mindset. Once you get a core, solid weight loss mindset, which is what my clients get through the Inner Self Diet. The Inner Self Diet is my proprietary, proven, step-by-step system to struggle-free, permanent success with your weight. And once you do that, once you get a weight loss mindset, then those negative behaviors are no longer a part of your life. Your mindset is right now what is in your way. And here's how you know for sure. If you need more proof, here's how you prove it to yourself. If you already know that you need to eat healthy, eat only when you're hungry and stop when you're full, and that you need to exercise regularly, if you already know these things, which I would say 99.9% of the world's population knows this, or at least the developed world, okay? Since you already know these things, but you're not doing them, and you're not doing them consistently. You might do them maybe one day a week, or maybe for a week out of a month, or maybe you've dropped 10, 20, maybe even 50 pounds. Maybe you've even lost 100 pounds, but you always gain it back. So the way that you know for sure that you have a mindset problem is you already know that living a healthy lifestyle is necessary to have the body of your dreams, but you're not doing it. Why aren't you doing it? Because of your mindset. And listen, this is not something that I make up. All high achievers know this. Anyone who knows this. Go to any business success person in the world. Anybody. Richard Branson is a great suggestion. Google Richard Branson or get one of his books and read about this man, and you will understand that he has a winning mindset. Zig Ziglar, one of his most famous quotes is, "Your attitude determines your altitude." What is your altitude, though? That is your mindset. Mary Kay of Mary Kay Cosmetics states that mindset is 90% of your success. Your business plan is only 10% of it. Okay, now we're talking about your weight. Mindset is 90% of your success. Your diet is only 10% of it. Because if you don't do the diet, if you don't do the healthy eating plan and the exercise plan, then what kind of results will you get? Albert Einstein, the brilliant Albert Einstein, said, one cannot alter a condition with the same mindset that created it in the first place. Which is really a big challenge, and this is why you haven't been able to break out of this on your own, because that same mind that you have now that created all of these problems that you have with your overeating and your overweight, you can't find the solution in that mindset. This is why the quickest and easiest way to break out of that place that you're in and that pain and that frustration, which I understand because I've been there before. All my clients used to be there. They're not now. But the quickest and easiest way to break out of that is to hire a professional mentor and coach who already has a proven system and just do the same thing that other people have already done before you so that you can get the results of a core solid weight loss mindset. And then once you have that, the easiest thing for you to do will be to do the 10%. And the 10% is eating healthy, exercising regularly, those things that you already know you need to be doing. Here's one more before we go on to today's topic. Dr. Wayne Dyer states that when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. All right, but where exactly does this change occur? When you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. But where does this change happen in how you look at things? Of course, it only happens within your inner self, in your mindset. That's the only place that this change can happen, so that then the things that you're looking at change, but really the things that you look at, they haven't changed. It's because of your mindset and how you look at things. When you have a weight loss mindset, weight loss is the easiest thing to do. In fact, weight loss in and of itself is not rocket science. It's very simple. You eat healthy, you exercise regularly, you put food in your mouth only when you're physically hungry, you stop when you're physically full. These are things you already know, but you're not doing them because you don't have the right mindset so that you can do them with ease and joy and fun and excitement and expectation so that you can follow through over time long term. All of that is possible once you get a weight loss mindset. Then what you'll find is weight loss will be super easy for you. And I also understand that while you're listening to me right now and you have an FAT mindset is grounded in fear-attracting thoughts. How you know you have an FAT mindset is because you're not living in your ideal body and it's not easy for you to do. So you're listening to me right now with that mindset and hearing that weight loss could be so easy for yourself. I'm sure it's hard to even imagine, but that is because of the mindset that you have right now. So how do you get out of that? You have to take a leap of faith. You have to have such a great desire and a craving to live in the body of your dreams and be able to have that body and maintain it with joy and with ease and doing it because it's fun and because you want to live like that. Those are the results of a solid weight loss mindset. And why do I say core solid weight loss mindset? Because a lot of people, when they hear weight loss mindset, they think, oh, I just need to go think positive. Well, how does positive thinking work for you? How many times have you tried that? Positive thinking laid on top of an FAT mindset can't break through what has created the FAT mindset. That's why it hasn't worked for you. So let's move on to today's show and get to the Get Real episode, number 7 of the year. And first let me explain, in case this is your first time tuning in to the JoLynn Braley Show, what is a Get Real episode? Well, a Get Real episode is each month, there's at least one Get Real episode, so this one is the 7th one so far. The first one was in January. And the Get Real episode's purpose is to help you get real with yourself right now. Why? Why would you want to get real with yourself right now? Because when you continue to tell yourself that you'll do it tomorrow, that someday you'll lose weight, that one day you'll think about this weight loss mindset crap that you're hearing me talk about. And the reason that you'd say that is because of the pain and the frustration that you're in right now. I completely understand what it's like to be in that negative mindset. And I also understand and I know the experience of being on the other side and how much fun it is. And once you get there, then it's hard to remember what it was like to live in all that struggle. What would that be like for you? But when you don't get real with yourself right now and look at what you're doing to yourself and exactly how long you've been doing it and what the status of your results are today in your mind and in your body and in your life, and you tell yourself you'll do it tomorrow, you'll do it someday, then here's what happens. We're already in July. Okay? So more than half of the year has already expired. And if you are like most people, back in January, you made a New Year's resolution to lose weight. Well, what are your results today? Yes, it's time to get real with yourself. How did that New Year's resolution to lose weight work for you? All right. Specifically, how many pounds overweight are you today? Here's another excellent question to help you get real with yourself right now. So, we are in the 7th month of the year. And there are approximately 4 weeks in each month. There are a couple months where there are 5 weeks. But we're going to be conservative and just look at 4 weeks per month. And what's 7 times 4? 7 times 4 is 28, correct? Being very, very conservative, this means that if you had stuck with that New Year's resolution, that you could be 28 pounds lighter right now. 28 pounds lighter. Now, what would that have required? That would have required a weight loss mindset so that you could have stuck with things since January 1st. Now, it's very common to drop 2 pounds of fat per week when you're living a healthy lifestyle and you're overweight and you have more than 50 pounds to release from your body. Looking at this same math calculation, that means that you could have already been 56 pounds lighter. So you made that New Year's resolution January 1st to lose weight. We're in July. Right now, you could be 56 pounds lighter if you had released 2 pounds per week. Now again, I'm being conservative, only looking at 4 weeks per month. 7 times 4, 28. So take 2 pounds off of that, add 2 pounds. Either way, we're looking at approximately 56 pounds lighter that you could be right now. Now, what that would have required again is a weight loss mindset on January 1st, which would have made living healthy and fit these entire 7 months very, very easy for you to do. You wouldn't even have considered binge eating or emotional eating or overeating or stuffing yourself. You wouldn't have considered any of that because there would have been no reason to. If you had gotten a weight loss mindset last year so that you could have started the new year with that mindset, you would have had the 90% taken care of so that the 10%, the diet and exercise would have been really, really easy. All right? Now, what are the results you're living today, though? What are the specific results that you are living today? Exactly how many pounds overweight are you today? Exactly how long have you been telling yourself you'll do it tomorrow? And do you like the results you're living? Now, these are really tough questions, and you really need to look yourself in the eye, and you really need to go, I suggest you go get naked and look at yourself in front of a full-length mirror. Do you like what you see? If you like what you see, great. Why are you listening to me on this podcast? Get out there and enjoy your life. Stop listening to me. There's no reason for you to listen to me. So, since you are listening to me, you obviously don't like what you see in the mirror. But still, I still suggest that you get naked, go stand in front of a full-length mirror, and get real with yourself. Here's something even more powerful. Pictures. Now, I'm not suggesting you take naked pictures of yourself, but hey, if that will help you, great. And you feel safe and secure doing that, okay, great. Go do that. Whatever works for you. Whatever works for you to get totally 100% real with you. Because this is why. This is why. This is your life. It is happening now. It doesn't start tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. Today is the day that you told yourself yesterday would be the day, the tomorrow, that you'd finally get your act together and make a change. But then you keep telling yourself that today, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow. Well, what has changed? All right, so that is what getting real is all about. And let's go on now with the topic of binge eating, what binge eating is really about, and maintaining that same mindset with yourself of getting completely real with yourself. Again, why? Is it just to beat up on yourself or tell yourself, oh, look how fat I am? No. It's to ask yourself the question, hey, do I like the results I'm living? And if you don't, then you've got to do something different. But the something different is not another food diet or exercise program, because you have to actually do the food diet and the exercise program. And if you've never been able to do those things and do them consistently and do them without struggle and do them with ease and joy and follow through consistently, then that's because you don't have the right mindset. Mindset is 90% of your problem and is 90% of the solution. A weight loss mindset makes all of that little bitty 10% so easy to do. It's just not a big deal anymore. All right, so today's topic, what is binge eating really about? Get a piece of pen, get a piece of paper and a pen. I don't think you'd want a piece of a pen, because that would probably mean that you'd have ink all over the place. So grab a piece of paper and a pen. And now that you have that, write this down vertically on the paper. Vertically on your paper, write the word binge. So what you have there is you have the word B, and then underneath it I, and then underneath it N, and underneath that G, and then underneath that E. All right? So we are going to dissect what binge eating is really all about. And here's the next step. Next to the letter B, write because. Now let's move down to I and write I'm. Moving down to the letter N, write the word not. Down to the letter G, write the word good. And then the last letter E, write the word enough. So what have you spelled out there? Binge. Because I'm not good enough. This is what your binge eating is all about. And this is the number one most negative limiting belief of all humans collectively, is the belief that you're not good enough. So what you've been attempting to do with your binge eating and stuffing and compulsive overeating and emotional eating is, of course, you've been trying to make yourself feel better, but instead all it does is it makes you feel worse, and then it gives you the extra fat on your body, and then you look at that and then you feel worse, and then you go eat more food to try to feel better. And it's just a never-ending cycle. And then you might get desperate and then go do another food diet and force yourself to lose some weight. Then you lose 10 pounds and then you think that it's time to go eat again, and then you overeat, and then you feel bad because you tell yourself that you're not good enough. Now, it's very, very possible that you've never even been conscious of this thought. But if you're like most people, it's in there. And so then you overeat, and then you beat up on yourself because you were doing so good before, and then you go eat some more food, and then you gain back all the 10 pounds, plus 5, plus 10, plus another 20. And then tell yourself you're a failure and you're never going to get it right, and because I'm not good enough, let's go eat some more food. And it just continues. Okay? So what is the point of looking at what binge eating is really all about? Well, what all of your overeating and all of your negative behaviors are really about is, at the very bottom, what you're trying to do is you're trying to feel better. This is probably not conscious to you, but that's what all human behaviors are motivated by. All human behaviors are motivated by a positive intention. No matter how horrible the behavior may appear on the surface, think about the most horrible behavior that you have judged that another person has done. Underneath that behavior is a core positive intention. Most likely it's not conscious to the person exhibiting the behavior, but all people are trying to feel better. Everybody's trying to feel better. What you've been doing is you've been trying to stuff food. Well, you have been stuffing food in your body. You haven't been trying. You have been stuffing food in your body, and it's given you extra fat, and you have been unconsciously trying to feel better. Or consciously. Maybe you have thought that, oh, well, I'll feel better if I go eat that cheesecake. But then you eat it, and then you feel bad. Okay, so that is what binge eating is really all about. And that's actually the shortest segment of this entire podcast because it's so simple. Binge eating is because I'm not good enough. And it's all about your negative limiting beliefs. This is here illustrating, though, it's another reason why this is so difficult for most people. Maybe 3% of the people out there on the planet can break out of these things on their own. Here I am, though, a professional. I'm a certified master NLP practitioner and coach. I have many other coaching certifications on top of that, and I couldn't do it on my own. I hired my own coaches and mentors to help me get to where I am. And so if somebody like me, with all of the training I have, needed to get help, then it makes sense that folks who have no training in this area also would need the help of a pro to break out of this. And then if you look at the profession of therapy, which is not what I do, therapy is more about talking about things for a long time, examining things. That's not what I do. I'm about getting results. And you have to do things to get results. And that's what I do with my clients. But looking at that profession of therapy, all good therapists have their own therapist that they go to. That's common knowledge. Same thing with psychologists and psychiatrists. So if those people hire their own professionals to help them, why is it that you would think that you could somehow break out of this conundrum that you've been in for most of your life of overeating and maybe losing weight sometimes, but then gaining it all back and just going back and forth, yo-yo dieting, all of these never-ending struggles that you've been living with food and weight? Why would you then think that you would be able to do it on your own? You know, of course, everybody has free will, and you can try to, see what you can do. I can tell you without a doubt, it's a fact, the quickest and easiest way to get out of the pain that you're in is to just work with a professional who already has a proven step-by-step system. And then the binge eating, the because I'm not good enough, will be a thing of the past. Because when you actually believe that you are good enough and that you deserve the body that you would like to live in, that you deserve all good things, and then you expect those good things to come. Once you get into that place in your mindset and in your inner self, then nothing can stop you. So, let's take a quick commercial break. Today's sponsor of the JoLynn Braley Show is fearlessfatloss.com. fearlessfatloss.com. Head on over to fearlessfatloss.com now, and you can grab 2 free gifts. One is you'll grab a free 5-day e-course, which will help you learn more about your mindset. It will help you discover what's really been stopping you from losing weight for good, also what you can do about it, and you will also receive a weekly e-zine, which is a email newsletter in your email inbox each week. So you can grab both of these free gifts over at fearlessfatloss.com. Thank you to fearlessfatloss.com for being our sponsor today. Questions to ask yourself. On each episode of the JoLynn Braley Show, I give you questions that you can ask yourself. I highly suggest that you write these down, pen on paper. You already have pen on paper available because you did the previous exercise on binge eating. And the reason that I suggest on each episode that you write these questions down is because there is a connection that occurs between the head, the hand, and the heart that does not occur when you type on a keyboard, and especially you don't get it by just listening. All right? Take advantage of this and grab your pen and paper. This is a free podcast, and there's great power in questions, and these questions today are designed to help you get real with you. So, since this is a Get Real episode, and it's the 7th one of the year, first question to write down: when exactly was the last time I binged? When exactly was the last time I binged? Write down that day, that time. And then your next question to ask yourself: how many times per week do I binge eat? How many times per week do I binge eat? And write that number down. Specific times per week that you binge eat. Your next question to write down: exactly how many years have I been struggling with my eating and or my overweight? Exactly how many years have I been struggling with my eating and or my overweight? And write that number down. If you're like my clients and like most people, this struggle began when you were a child. It's very common, and you may not have even been overweight back then, just like I wasn't. But maybe somebody told you that you were fat, or you thought you were fat, and that's when you started having negative thoughts about food, about eating, started beating up on yourself. And the reason that this question says, how many years have I been struggling with my eating and or my overweight, is because not everybody who binge eats is overweight. And if that is you, then you likely have even more pain and frustration within you than those out there who are clearly overweight. Because when other people look at you, they don't expect you to have any problems with food because you're not carrying excess fat on your body. And this frustrates you even more. And you don't know where to turn because you think that you would have to be overweight in order to hire a professional mentor to help you break free of your head games that you play on yourself, which again is all about your mindset. And I've worked with several clients who, if you were to look at them before we started working together, you would say they don't have any problems with food or overweight, but it's not always about excess fat on your body. It's the excess fat on your brain and within you. So Exactly how many years have I been struggling with my eating and or my overweight? Write that number down. The next question is, how much longer specifically am I willing to keep living like this? Exactly. Specifically, how much longer am I willing to keep living like this? And write that number down. Why is this so important? Because, like I said earlier in the episode today, this is your life. Nothing is going to change. Nothing will change for you unless you do something different that will give you the change that you're looking for. Einstein said it best. The definition of insanity is continuing to do the same thing over and over and over again while expecting a different result. Doing the things that you've been doing for all these years, for all your life, expecting that you're going to get a different result, it's not going to happen, and it is insanity, and it's a way to drive yourself crazy. So, those are your Get Real questions today. I trust that you got a lot out of your answers, and with that last question, if you wrote down the answer, if your answer to yourself is, you're not willing to live like this any longer, then what is the quickest and easiest way for you to get out of that struggle that you're in? The quickest and easiest way is to hire a professional mentor who already has the proven system to success that will end your lifetime of struggle with food and with your weight and with yourself. And this is exactly what I do with my permanent weight loss coaching clients. How you would take the first step is you first need to apply for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. And that's actually a call with me. So we would get on the phone. It's a complimentary call. And I would want to hear from you. What made you decide that you have to release this struggle now? I'd want to hear all of that from you on the call. But first you need to apply for it. It is an application process, and there are only so many of these that can fit in my schedule per week. It makes sense to you. I'm sure you're a very busy professional yourself. So you fill out that application at fearlessfatloss.com/call, CALL. And that's your first step to releasing your binge eating and any other behaviors that you're doing to yourself that you would love to put in that basket and toss out the window. Why? So that then you could actually live healthy and fit and do it with ease and live in the body of your dreams and just have it be fun and simple and a good thing for you, because it really can be. You're not supposed to live in struggle. All struggle is self-created, whether consciously or unconsciously, and you can actually release all of it. But you've got to do the steps to get those results. Okay, so shout outs. How to get a shout out from me on the JoLynn Braley Show. Here's how. Go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com, click like on our Facebook page, and you will get a shout out from me on an upcoming episode. It's a lot of fun, and it's a way to acknowledge you for being a part of the show. Let's wrap up today's show, and let's just look at, what did you learn today? So you learned what binge eating really is. What is it again? It is because I'm not good enough. That is the core limiting belief underneath binge eating, and that is the biggest, most widespread limiting belief of all human beings. You also learned that what you've been trying to do, either consciously or unconsciously, with your binge eating and with all of your negative behaviors with food and with your body, you have been trying to feel better. And you learned that all human behaviors are motivated by a positive intention. All people are trying to feel better. No matter what they do, even if it looks like an extremely negative behavior to you, even when your behaviors look extremely negative, unconsciously you have been trying to feel better. You also learned that now is the time to get real with yourself. It's not going to happen tomorrow. You learned that New Year's resolutions don't work. You learned that your mindset is 90% of your problem today, and it's 90% of your solution when you get a core solid weight loss mindset. Additionally, you learned that you've got to do something different in order to get the results of a weight loss mindset so that you can have the results that come from that, which is fun, ease, and joy of living a healthy lifestyle. Putting all of those negative behaviors, the binge eating, emotional eating, everything that you do to yourself, your self-sabotage, putting all those in a basket and tossing them out the window. The only way you can get those results is by doing something very, very different. And until you do that, you will continue to live the results that you're living now. It's just how it is. It's like that with anything in life. One last thing you learned is that you can take your first step by going to fearlessfatloss.com/call and filling out an application for a complimentary weight loss discovery session. So be sure and go to thejolynnbraleyshow.com and like our Facebook page. You'll get a shout out from me at an upcoming show. And if you're subscribed in iTunes, go ahead and give the show a 5-star rating. That would be absolutely wonderful. Next week's show, the topic is weight loss magic, why it never appears. This is JoLynn Braley, weight loss mindset expert and the FAT release coach, and you've been listening to The JoLynn Braley Show. Head on over to fearlessfatloss.com to learn more. Grab your free gifts while you're there. Apply for that complimentary weight loss discovery session at fearlessfatloss.com/call if you are serious about tossing all of your negative, limiting, unwanted behaviors out the window so that you can live with ease and joy in the body of your dreams, because you will finally have a weight loss mindset. If you're serious about doing that, then apply for that complimentary discovery session now. Here's to your best life in your ideal body.